So I thought today we could try talking about loops and how they work in JavaScript. So let's just jump to the editor and get started. Let's say you wanted to make circles from the top left hand corner here go down in a diagonal line all the way and hit the right hand corner, right, from here. So what we've done so far is we would have to go line by line and create a variable. So we'll say let pos x equals 0, and then we'll have to define a circle, and that would be like pos x by 0 by 100, and then we'll pretty much have to copy this. We'll say pos x, then increment that by 100, and then say circle pos x 100 by 100, and that will be one way to do it, and then you go on so forth and keep going down till you run out. Now that's quite a long-winded way of programming, so a thing we can use is loops. So the most easy one we could use is a while loop. So all you would have to say is something along the lines where we would define a variable called, let's call that the pos x, shorthand for position x, and then we can say while pos x is larger than or equal to, smaller than or equal to our width of our screen, then hello again. So my page crashed. I think there's an issue with how while loops are written in p5JS, so I'm going to tick off auto for refresh and make sure that's not ticked down. I'm going to change that to that, change that to that, change that to that. Run it once. I'm going to save this first, so file, save. Now there is a problem with while loops that if they're not controlled properly they will run infinitely, which I think what happened here. So make sure auto refresh is off and then say while, and then we're going to go here and say let pos x equals 0, and then we're going to define what goes in our while loop first. So we'll say pos x plus equals 100, and then we're going to say while pos x is smaller than or equal to width, and then I want to draw a circle at pos x at actually we should probably rename that to pos, good position, because we're moving down, right? We want 100 size, and then hopefully that should work. Oops. Yeah, so it keeps going there. So let's, and you see it keeps going. So let's put auto refresh on then. So as we change the screen size, these balls will auto update. So in case I didn't make it clear, when running this code or when rewriting the code, turn auto refresh off, because there's a bug where if you get rid of this logic, this will run infinitely. It needs to have a way to stop. That's one of the problems with while loops, that if you don't correctly specify how to end it, or at least a way to increment your value so this condition will be true at some point, this will run an infinite amount of times. So just bear that in mind. Now that's one way of using while loops. Another way is to use for loops, and for loops are generally more regularly used than while loops in this sort of case. But there are cases where while loops will be used, where you're kind of going through a list and deleting values from those list things. So what we can do is just comment this out for the time being, and let's just work with the for loop. So we can say for. Now for loops is similar to while loops, but the conditions all defined in between the brackets. So you can say something like let pos equals 100, and then you need to put a colon there. Then you need to state your condition for it to end. So we would say something like while pos is smaller than or equal to the width of the screen, and then put colon, and then we need to specify the parameter we're going up by. So it's in pos x, not pos, is plus equal to 100, and then that's it. And then you don't put a colon there. And then you would say something like circle, define the circle at pos 100. And there we are. We should probably start at 0, probably easier to understand. Yeah, and there we are. So this is a much better way of doing it rather than using a while loop. So the for loop here is preferred, but there are cases where while loops will be used. Anyway, that's it. That's pretty much it for loops. Now you can play around with this. Obviously this is a condition, so you can change this into a Boolean value that you can use. You can put AND statements here, OR statements in, whatever, and the same goes for this section here. Yeah. Alright, I think that covers it for today. Hopefully I'll see you in the next lesson. Bye bye.